Here are some interesting facts and historical context surrounding the Chimes by Charles Dickens. 1. Part of Dickens's Christmas books tradition. The Chimes was Dickens's second Christmas book, following the enormous success of A Christmas Carol, 1843. It was published in 1844 as part of his series of holiday novellas intended to highlight social issues while delivering a heartwarming message. 2. Themes of poverty and social reform. The novella reflects Dickens's concern about the social injustices of Victorian England, particularly the treatment of the poor. It critiques the pervasive idea of blaming the poor for their poverty, which was a common sentiment among the wealthy and ruling classes during the Industrial Revolution. 3. The Chimes as a political commentary. Dickens wrote The Chimes in response to the harsh criticisms directed at the poor and working-class people by prominent figures of the time. The character Alderman Cute embodies the condescending and dismissive attitudes of politicians and bureaucrats towards the poor, making him a satirical representation of Dickens's political adversaries. 4. Influence of the bells. The titular chimes refer to the bells of a church, which serve as a moral and spiritual guide for the protagonist, Trotty Veck. Bells were significant in Victorian culture, symbolizing both the passage of time and divine intervention. They often called communities to prayer, celebration, or reflection. 5. Trotty Veck is an everyman. The character of Trotty Veck, a downtrodden ticket porter, represents the common man struggling against the weight of societal injustices. His journey through despair and redemption mirrors the struggles of many working-class individuals of Dickens's time. 6. Written in Italy. Dickens began writing The Chimes while he was living in Genoa, Italy. His experiences abroad and the news from England influenced the book's themes. Although he loved Italy's scenery, he was deeply troubled by the reports of societal attitudes back home. 7. A playful yet serious tone. Despite its social critique, The Chimes includes fantastical and almost playful elements, such as the goblin-like spirits that emerge from the church bells. These supernatural elements add a whimsical layer while delivering serious moral lessons. 8. Initial reception. The Chimes was eagerly anticipated but received mixed reviews. While many appreciated its social message and lyrical quality, others felt it lacked the charm and universality of A Christmas Carol. Over time, it has gained recognition for its bold critique of Victorian society. 9. Dickens's performance of the story. Like A Christmas Carol, The Chimes became one of Dickens's favorites to perform during his public readings. His animated and emotional storytelling brought the characters and themes vividly to life, captivating his audiences. 10. Enduring message of hope. The novella emphasizes redemption, the importance of hope, and the belief in the potential for societal change. The uplifting ending, where Trotty Veck realizes the possibility of a better future, aligns with Dickens's belief in human resilience and the power of community. 11. Connection to Victorian Christmas culture. The Chimes helped shape the Victorian celebration of Christmas, alongside other works by Dickens. By combining holiday warmth with moral lessons, Dickens played a key role in redefining Christmas traditions as a time of charity, reflection, and family gatherings. 12. Published during a time of great social debate. The Chimes was published in December 1844, a time when debates about poverty, industrialization, and social responsibility were at their peak. England was grappling with issues like poor housing, child labor, and the controversial poor laws, which Dickens strongly opposed. The novella critiques the policies and attitudes that dehumanize the poor and working classes. 13. The Poor Law Amendment Act of 1834. This act, which aimed to reduce the cost of supporting the poor, played a significant role in the story's context. The law created workhouses with intentionally harsh conditions to discourage reliance on public assistance. Dickens, deeply affected by this, portrayed its cruelty in his works, including The Chimes. 14. Trotty Veck's name symbolism. The protagonist's name, Trotty Veck, is symbolic. Trotty reflects his hasty, shuffling gait as he performs menial tasks, while Veck is short for diddler, tying him to the modest livelihood of the working class. Dickens often used character names to reflect their personalities or social roles. 15. Goblins and folklore inspirations. The goblin-like spirits that emerged from the bells and the chimes were inspired by British folklore. Dickens often incorporated supernatural elements to heighten drama and deliver moral lessons. These spirits serve as guides, similar to the ghosts of Christmas in A Christmas Carol. 16. Dickens's growing frustration with the elite. During the time he wrote The Chimes, Dickens's frustration with politicians and the upper classes was intensifying. He felt they often ignored the plight of the poor or worsened their conditions with patronizing attitudes. These frustrations are channeled to characters like Alderman Cute and Mr. Filer, who represent institutional arrogance and economic mismanagement. 17. First illustrated by notable artists. The first edition of The Chimes featured illustrations by prominent Victorian artists such as John Leech, Richard Doyle, and Clarkson Stanfield. These illustrations added visual depth to Dickens's story and helped emphasize its themes of despair and redemption. 18. The Clockwork, Inspiration. Dickens was fascinated by the mechanics of clocks and bells, seeing them as metaphors for the passage of time and the rhythm of life. This inspiration is evident in The Chimes, where the titular bells not only mark time but also act as moral arbiters. 19. Echoes of real-life figures. Many characters in The Chimes were likely inspired by real-life figures Dickens encountered or read about. Alderman Cute, for example, mirrors the attitudes of politicians Dickens detested, particularly those who dismissed or criticized the poor. 20. Genoa's influence on the writing. Dickens's temporary residence in Genoa, Italy, while writing The Chimes, provided a stark contrast to the industrial grime of England. Although he enjoyed the picturesque scenery, reports of English social issues weighed heavily on him, fueling the story's urgent tone. 21. A literary rivalry with Thackeray. Dickens's The Chimes was released around the same time as William Makepeace Thackeray's satirical The Luck of Barry Lyndon. The two authors were contemporaries and occasional rivals, and some critics compared their works. Dickens's socially conscious tone contrasted sharply with Thackeray's biting satire. 22. Precursor to later Dickens works. Themes explored in The Chimes, such as redemption, the plight of the poor, and supernatural interventions, foreshadow many of Dickens's later works, including David Copperfield, 1849–1850, and Bleak House, 1852–1853. 23. International reach. Like many of Dickens's works, The Chimes gained an international audience soon after publication. It resonated particularly in America, where Dickens's observations about class inequalities struck a chord, despite differences in context. 24. The use of time as a motif. The bells and the chimes not only symbolize moral reckoning but also serve as a reminder of the relentless passage of time, urging individuals to act with compassion and purpose before it's too late. Thanks for listening and watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Like this video. It helps more people find these classic stories. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think.